Am I the a-hole for keeping my word from when I told my brother he gained a girlfriend but lost a brother? I, 18 male, was dating Kayla, 18 female for 3 years when she broke up with me unexpectedly. She told me she had just fallen out of love with me. But a week later, I got home early and she was over to see my brother, 17 male, and they were talking about how long they had to wait to go public. My brother said he didn't want to lose me, but he wanted to be with her so they'd stay on the down low for a few months. She didn't want to wait that long and they were trying to figure it out. By walking in, I took the decision out of their hands and I confronted them. Kayla told me I had no right to be mad, that she was her own person and she wasn't my property. I told her it wasn't a discussion we should be having and it was between me and my brother. My brother said he was sorry, he loved me, but he loved Kayla too. He told me this couldn't be the thing that comes between us. He said over and over how he never wanted me to get hurt, but he'd been crushing on Kayla for years, and when she was hanging out at our house for me, he fell for her hard. He repeated himself a lot, and he could see I was pissed and hurt, and he wouldn't let go of this idea that he never meant to hurt me. This all happened back in February, and I told my brother then that he had gained a girlfriend and congrats. I was sarcastic, by the way. But he had lost a brother and I would never want to be his freaking brother again. He tried to talk over me with all these BS apologies. I told him to stop humiliating himself because he wasn't worth my time anymore and I was done. I lived with my parents and brother until May. It was tense. He would try to talk to me 10 times a day. I avoided him and ignored him. I wouldn't even speak to him when he spoke to me. It was hell being under the same roof as him and seeing him and Kayla. So I ran out of there on my birthday and went to stay with another family member. Now me and a friend are renting while we were doing work training. I still live nearby because I don't want to lose the rest of my family. But my brother keeps trying to fix this, and my parents have started asking me to stop punishing him. They said I don't need to keep my word when it was spoken in anger. I asked Mom how she'd feel if one of her sisters slept with her partner, and I asked Dad the same about his brothers. I asked if they'd speak to them. I told them that's what their precious little boy did. They said we're both their precious little boys, and they love us both and can't stand the gap. I said that was on their younger son, and he was out of luck on the brother front. My sister, 15, isn't talking to him either, and she's ignoring Kayla when she's at their house too, and my sister spends more time with me or at my place to avoid them. That's being blamed on me as well. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. They knew what they were doing. They're suffering the consequences of their own actions. I honestly can't believe your parents even allows your ex to be in the house. They had sex while she and I were still together. So yeah, they cheated. The way he wanted to keep it quiet for months, thinking they'd get away with it. Screw him for that. Amen to that. Honestly, stick to not having him as part of your life. If he did it once, he'll do it again. You're clearly not that important, or you wouldn't have been such a scumbag. That's what I was thinking. What's to stop him catching these feelings the next time I have a partner? At least I found out, though. I wouldn't change that because they don't deserve me in their lives. Not the a-hole. He made his choice and he will regret it when Kayla goes off to college and he is finishing high school. Good luck to you. She decided not to go to college to stay near him. Her parents are mad and tried to involve me, but I told them it was no longer anything to do with me. Lol, this just makes it that much worse. He will probably get her pregnant and end up resenting her for him growing up too quick. Onwards and upwards for you, my friend. I know it does. Her family are pissed, but she was already 18 when they found out, so there was nothing they could do to change her mind. Not the a-hole. As for your sister, what's their complaint? They're trying to pressure you into having a relationship you don't want with your brother, while saying it's a bad thing that the relationship between you and your sister is probably closer than ever? That's hypocritical. They don't think my sister should be in the middle of things, but she thinks it's gross for him to do it. And she even said why would she support him when he was a bad brother? It gives him the chance to be a bad brother to her. We have become much closer through this. We always had a good relationship, but it's nice to have one sibling who won't betray me. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my sister's best friend's funeral? My sister, 17 female, was best friends with Lily, also 17 practically their whole lives. But Lily hated me 16 female and she bullied me or was mean to me many times. The worst thing Lily ever did was out me to everyone 2 years ago. She was sleeping over, and I locked my room because I was spending the night at our grandparents', so I wouldn't have to be in the same house as Lily. My sister gave Lily the spare key to my room, and Lily let herself in and found my journal where I had written about being a lesbian. Nobody, and I mean nobody, knew, and Lily was so homophobic about it. She called me gross and used slurs against me. Lily told everyone at school, and word spread to everyone at home too, and my sister let it happen. I was so hurt by my sister's part in it, but I also despised Lily from that point on. I refused to stay in the house during the day if Lily was there. My parents eventually stopped letting Lily come over as much, but they hardly did anything to really help me. They just said they accepted me and that they'd stand up for me if anyone tried to discriminate against me. But I was still hurt that they allowed Lily to stay in their lives, and my sister kept her as a best friend and defended her. 2 weeks ago, Lily and her boyfriend crashed the car they were in, and they died. My sister was obviously heartbroken. I didn't care. I didn't try to comfort my sister or anything. On the day of Lily's funeral, I refused to go. My parents tried to make me, telling me it wasn't for Lily, it was for my sister. I asked them if they meant the sister who supported her horrible best friend, let her out me, defended her afterward, and stood by her after years of bullying. My parents said she was still my sister, and with Lily gone, maybe we could grow closer. I told them it would never happen. My parents tried everything to convince me. After the funeral, my sister was angry and upset that I refused to go. She accused me of practically celebrating Lily's death ever since it happened and said not going to the funeral was proof. My parents told her nobody was celebrating and that we just needed to figure out how to come together. Then they told me privately that they were disappointed in me. Our grandparents also took a stand and didn't go, which upset my sister and our parents. My sister accused me of convincing our grandparents not to go. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Your sister started the whole thing by allowing Lily to violate your privacy, without which she would not have been able to out you. So if anyone other than Lily is a bully in this situation, it's your own sister. I agree. Hypothetically, sister is just as guilty for not dumping Lily and finding better friends. No hypothetical to it. Sister gave Lily the key to OP's room. Honestly, the whole situation sounds like karma to me. Not the a-hole, by the way. Not the a-hole. I can't fathom staying friends with someone who hurt my sister so much. I'm glad you have supportive grandparents. Me too. They feel like my only adult support most days. Please go to live with them. They are your true family. My parents won't let me, but when I'm old enough, I will. At least there, I won't be around people who support those who bully me. This is so weird. Why would your grandparents go to the funeral anyway? She was your sister's friend. Why would the whole bloody family go to her funeral? Your sister is an a-hole. She's just as guilty and her friend was. She just hid it better. Your parents should be ashamed of themselves, expecting you to go to the funeral of someone who actively hated you and went out of her way to make your life miserable, while your parents did nothing to stop it, and they have the audacity to be disappointed in you? You should tell them you're disappointed in them. They were supposed to be there to support my sister. That's what she wanted, and our parents wanted that for her. It's why they're so mad I wouldn't go too. My parents felt like we needed to be there for my sister, no matter who Lily was. They don't understand that I wasn't going to support her either when she was clearly fine with how Lily treated me. Next story. Am I the a-hole for shutting my mom and sister out and ruining their mourning after my daughter was stillborn and they made it all about them and their grief? I, 19 female, gave birth to my stillborn daughter 6 weeks ago. We told our families after she was here because everything happened so fast. My boyfriend's family rushed to support us and offered all the support they could. My dad replied with some support. My mom and sister were quiet toward us and instead took to social media to ask for thoughts and prayers for themselves, taking sympathy and making it all about them. My mom was crying about her first grandbaby being dead and how she'd never get to meet her, and my sister was talking about how her joy of aunthood had been robbed. It took 3 days for them to reach out, and when they finally did, it was still all about them. They demanded we tell them our plans, and my mom asked why I never went to her and my sister to comfort them. That ended in a fight. When I told my family I was pregnant, they were not supportive. My mom and sister expected me to abort. My sister told me I shouldn't have kids, and my mom told me I was a silly little girl trying to play mom. Eventually, they seemed to come around, but it still hurt, and we were never as close after that. I still would have expected them to be there for me when my daughter died, but they weren't. So I ignored all their questions and calls, and we had our daughter cremated with my boyfriend's family there for support. My mom and sister found out last week because of my boyfriend's sister. She didn't mean to start anything, but she mentioned the cremation. My mom and sister went crazy. The day they found out, I got about 150 texts and around 20 calls. I had to turn my phone off because they kept trying until around 3 or 4 a.m., and it's still continuing, though less than that first day. They accused me of ruining their morning by depriving them of the chance to be there and say goodbye. I've been called selfish for not thinking of them during this time. It feels more and more like they expected me and my boyfriend to treat them as though this was primarily their loss, and we were just the silly little kids like they said before. My dad hasn't been like this, but he hasn't been very supportive either. He's just trying to play peacemaker. Right now, I think I might be done with them for good. But with how sure they are that I'm some evil witch for shutting them out, I'm starting to falter. That might just be because I'm falling apart and don't know how to get out of the grief I'm drowning in. Right now, I want to scream that I hate them and wish they'd get the heck away and leave me and my daughter's memory alone. But maybe that's not fair. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole at all. OP, is this sister the golden child? I think these narcissistic a-holes need to be put on an information diet, and you may want to have boyfriend's family join you in it. Look into gray rocking. I would recommend keeping these people away from you and your chosen loved ones. I wouldn't call her the golden child, but I think she's more like our mom and just lives the way mom would choose. Me being pregnant at 19 went against that. I'm so sorry for your loss. I can't imagine the pain and grief you are suffering right now. This is the kind of thing that makes people go no contact forever. You had to give birth to your daughter and go through all that, even though you knew she would never draw breath, cry, see the sunlight, or do anything you had planned. My friend recently had a baby, and for months she was so excited and made plans. Just like you did. Your mom and sister making it all about themselves and not once giving any thought to you is monstrous. You are a strong person. Stay with your boyfriend and cut those evil witches out of your life. If grief was a contest, it's one no sane person would ever want to win. Thank you for your kindness. For us, it has been hard to be around her stuff. We had a nursery done, and we had a portion of our room turned into space for our daughter. It's still there, so we see it daily. To know we were so close to bringing her home, to know she'd be born now and that we should be enjoying those first few weeks but we'll never get them. It's like living in a nightmare. Last story. Am I the a-hole for paying for my dog's surgery instead of helping my girlfriend's sister with her rent? I have a dog who's on the older side. He just turned 9, and a few weeks ago, he suddenly lost the use of his back legs. It was one of the scariest things I've experienced as a pet owner. I rushed him to the vet, and after a lot of tests, they told me surgery was his only real chance at recovery. Putting him down wasn't even an option I was willing to consider. The surgery was expensive, £8,500 all told, and I had to pay every penny out of pocket. Thankfully, I'm in a good financial position and have a healthy amount saved, so while it was a big expense, it wasn't a financial disaster for me. My dog has been with me for almost a decade and is part of my family, so it was a no-brainer to do whatever it took to give him a chance at living a good life. Here's where the issue comes in. My girlfriend's sister has been struggling with rent for months. Apparently, she's fallen several months behind and is panicking about getting evicted. When my girlfriend found out how much I paid for the surgery, she completely flipped. She told me I was selfish for spending that much money on a dog while refusing to help her sister out of her situation. Her exact words were something like, "You'd spend $8,000 on a dog, but won't even help my sister keep a roof over her head?" Since then, she's been cold and distant with me, constantly calling me cheap and selfish. I understand she cares about her sister and wants to help, but I feel like I'm being unfairly pressured into bailing someone out for problems they created. Her sister's situation isn't due to bad luck. It's because her relationship broke down and she's still living in a place she can't afford on her own. On top of that, I own a 4-bedroom house, and my girlfriend has suggested letting her sister move in with us until she gets back on her feet. I refused, partly because I value my space and privacy, and partly because I don't want to be financially or emotionally responsible for someone else's mess. I feel like I've already made a responsible choice by handling my own pet's emergency and using my money for something that matters deeply to me. Am I really an a-hole for refusing to financially support my girlfriend's sister or let her move in with us? Not the a-hole. However, you need to dump your girlfriend, who is determined to make her sister's poor choices your problem. Your girlfriend's sister has people who can help her with her money problems. Your dog has you, not the a-hole. Time to rehome the girlfriend. Seriously end the relationship now, because she's going to expect you to always bail out her family, and she's going to move them into your home behind your back. I wouldn't spend $8,000 on a 9-year-old dog, but I sure wouldn't spend it on a girlfriend's sister. You could only have made a better choice if you ditched the girlfriend too. I'm doing all I can to help him for as long as I can. Money comes and goes, but the dog is never being replaced. As long as it's still got a quality of life, he should have a few more years in him. He's not in chronic pain as far as we're aware.